Before you scroll away, ask yourself something. What would your future self say to you right now? Would they thank you or would they beg you to wake up? Could you let that land for a second? Because the truth is, someone out there needs the version of you that you haven't built yet. Someone's waiting for your courage, your kids, your future partner, your dream, even you. You may not see it yet, but the choices you make today, in this exact moment, are either building your future or betraying it. Think about that. Every morning you snooze your alarm, every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," every moment you let fear win, you're not just letting yourself down today. You're letting down the you who's been counting on you to show up. Make it real. It builds quietly in the background, in the skipped workouts, in the job you never applied for, in the book you never wrote, in the words you were too afraid to say. And one day, you wake up and realize you were always just one decision away. You had it. You didn't use it. But here's the beautiful part. You're not too late. You're not behind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. But now, you've got to decide what you do with this moment. The promise. In this video, I'm not just going to motivate you. I'm going to remind you of who you are, of what you're capable of why you can't afford to keep living on autopilot. Because your future self is out there, working a job you love, waking up with peace in your heart, walking with purpose. Because you chose to act today. This isn't just about dreaming big. It's about becoming someone who doesn't give up on themselves. So let's go deeper. Let's look at the gap between where you are and where you're meant to be. Let's build a bridge your future self can walk across with pride. Because that version of you, they're not a fantasy. They're waiting, and they're counting on you. The invisible gap. Let's talk about the gap. Not the one between you and other people, the one between you and the version of you you could be. We all feel it sometimes. That tension, that quiet frustration, that inner whisper that says, "I'm meant for more than this." But then life distracts you, and you bury it again. But deep down, you know, there's a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of you. And they're not some fantasy, they're real. They're just on the other side of your discipline. The gap is built or closed by daily decisions. It's not one huge leap. It's not one lucky break. It's what you do when no one's watching. It's what you do after the alarm goes off. It's what you do when you feel tired. It's what you say to yourself when you fail. It's the habits you repeat when life gets hard. Those are the bricks in the bridge to your future self. And every time you choose growth over comfort, you get closer. Here's the hard truth. You don't become that version of yourself by dreaming about it. You become them by doing the hard things, saying no to distractions, being honest with yourself, getting uncomfortable on purpose, doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. No one else is coming to save you. There's no shortcut. There's no magic moment. There's only this one, right now. The people you admire, the people who seem so far ahead, they weren't born disciplined. They just stopped quitting on themselves. You've got to stop recycling your excuses, because the same excuses that comfort you today, it will haunt you in the future. You know the ones. I'll start when I feel more motivated. Now's not the right time. I'm not ready yet. But guess what? Motivation fades, time passes, and ready never comes. You don't need more motivation. You need a bigger reason, and you have one. The future you. Every day is a brick. Think of it like this. Each decision is a brick. Every time you choose effort over excuses, every time you take the hard path when the easy one is right there, you lay another brick. Are you building a foundation your future self can stand on? Or a wall they'll have to tear down? Because make no mistake, your future self will show up one day, and they'll live inside the structure you're building right now. The three truths you can't ignore. You will either pay the price of discipline today or the price of regret tomorrow. You're not stuck, you're just scared. And that's okay, but don't let fear drive. The person you're becoming is shaped by the habits you repeat, not the goals you write down. You can't fake your way to greatness. You build it brick by brick, with sweat, with focus, with honesty. And here's the good news. You don't have to get it all perfect. You just have to stay in the game. Ask yourself, what if today were the day you stopped negotiating with your excuses? What if this were the moment you decided to lead your life instead of reacting to it? What if you finally became the person who does what they say they're going to do? That version of you is waiting. On the other side of sacrifice, on the other side of staying consistent when no one claps for you, on the other side of believing in yourself before there's proof. They are not out of reach. They are already within you. You just have to choose them over and over again until it becomes who you are. Final thought for this section. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your systems. So build stronger systems. Show up even when it's hard. Your future self is counting on you not to quit this time. Becoming the person who shows up. Let's be honest. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they disappear when it gets uncomfortable. They set their own goals. They vanish when no one's watching. And they don't even realize they're building the habit of giving up on themselves. But not you. You're here because a part of you is done hiding, done waiting, done pretending that your comfort zone is enough. You're ready to become the kind of person who shows up, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. The hard truth. Look, it's easy to be motivated for one day, to post the vision board, set the goals, and start the journal. But consistency, discipline, that's not always exciting. That's not always visible. No one claps when you go to bed early. No one gives you a trophy for saying no to distractions. But that's where transformation lives. In the invisible, in the boring reps, the quiet moments, the daily choices that no one sees but you. It's in choosing to build when there's no applause, choosing to show up when the old you would have given up. That's how real strength is built. Building a new identity. You want real change? It's not just about goals, it's about identity. You don't just try to be confident, you become someone who speaks with conviction. You don't just try to get fit, you become someone who doesn't skip workouts. You don't just try to be productive, you become someone who protects their focus like it's gold. Because it is. You build identity by collecting evidence, one action at a time. Every time you choose to keep a promise to yourself, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. And eventually, that identity becomes solid, unshakable, real. It's not fake confidence, it's earned. Dealing with doubt. Yes, the doubt will come. That inner voice will say, "Who are you to chase this dream? You've tried before and failed. It's too late. You're not good enough." Let me tell you something. That voice isn't your truth. It's just your fear, dressed up as logic. You've listened to that voice long enough. It kept you small. It kept you silent. But today you choose a new voice, the voice of discipline, the voice of truth. I may not be where I want to be yet, but I'm not where I was. I've made it through every hard day so far, and I'm still here. I am becoming stronger because I keep showing up. That's your new narrative. Realign with purpose. Ask yourself this. Why did you start? Why did you watch this video? Why are you still here? It's not a coincidence. There's something in you that knows. You were built for more. You're not crazy for wanting peace, or purpose, or power. You're not too much for dreaming big. You're not behind because you're not there yet. You're building. And builders don't panic every time a storm hits. They keep laying brick after brick because they know what they're creating is worth it. So keep building, keep going, because if you don't, the world misses out on the real you. You don't need permission to start. You don't need validation to matter. You don't need anyone else to believe in you before you believe in yourself. You just need to decide that today you will not quit on yourself. You will get up. You will move forward. You will become the kind of person your future self looks back at and says, "Thank you. Thank you for showing up when it was hard. Thank you for believing in me before the world did." So remember this. You're not alone. You're not broken. And you're not done. You're building something. And the person you're becoming, they're powerful. They're focused. They're exactly who this world needs. Keep going. Your future self is counting on you. Discipline is the bridge. Let's be honest for a second. Motivation will get you going, but only discipline will keep you growing. You've probably felt that rush before, That fire when you watch a motivational video, read a powerful quote, or set a big goal. But then life happens. You get tired, you get distracted, you get overwhelmed, and that initial spark, gone. So here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Your future doesn't depend on how fired up you feel. It depends on what you do when you don't feel like showing up. Discipline isn't sexy, it's not flashy, it doesn't always feel good, but it's essential. Because in the gap between who you are and who you're becoming, discipline is the bridge. Want to build confidence? Keep the promises you make to yourself. When you tell yourself you'll wake up at 6 a.m. and you don't, your mind learns that your word doesn't mean much. But when you follow through, even when it's uncomfortable, your brain starts to trust you. And self-trust, that's the real foundation of confidence. No external validation, no likes or applause, just you showing up for yourself. Every small choice matters. The 10 push-ups you do when no one's watching. The 5 pages you write, even when the words aren't flowing. The healthy meal you choose instead of the quick fix. The 10 minutes of silence instead of more scrolling. Those small wins, they stack up, and over time they transform your identity. You stop being someone who tries. You start being someone who does. Make discipline your default. Start small, but stay consistent. Don't try to change everything in one day. Instead, change one thing and stick with it until it becomes a part of who you are. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Drink more water. Read 1 page. Put your phone down before bed. It's not about intensity, it's about integrity. Because discipline isn't punishment, it's self-respect. You don't do it because you hate where you are. You do it because you love where you're going. And here's the challenge. Your future self can't do it for you. They can't build the habits. They can't push you out of bed. They can't silence the excuses. That's on you. Right now, right here. But imagine this. Imagine waking up 6 months from now and realizing you did it. You didn't wait to feel ready. You didn't wait for the perfect plan. You just got up and got to work. And now, you've built momentum. You've built resilience. You've built a strong mind. All because you chose discipline over comfort. Quiet the noise. Win the inner war. You're putting in the work. You've made progress. But still there's a voice in your head that won't shut up. What if I fail? I'm not good enough. Who do you think you are even to try this? Let's be real. Most of the battles we fight in life, they're not out there. They're in here, in your head, in your doubt, in your fear. And if you don't learn to quiet that noise, no amount of motivation will save you. The loop that holds you back. You've been here before. You get inspired. You start something. But then it creeps in. The overthinking, the comparison, the fear of judgment, and suddenly you're back at square one. Stuck. Not because you don't have the skills, not because you don't have the potential, but because you keep believing that voice in your head that says, you're not ready. But here's the truth you need to hear, loud and clear. That voice is not your truth. That voice is your training. You've been conditioned to doubt yourself, to fear failure, to play it safe. That voice was shaped by your past, but it doesn't get to define your future. How to quiet the noise? Let's break it down. Here's how you start quieting the chaos in your head and create mental space for your future self to thrive. Call it out. First, recognize the voice. Is it fear? Is it a shame? Is it a voice from your past? A parent, a teacher, a bully? Call it what it is. Because once you name it, you take its power away. Say it out loud if you have to. This is fear. This is not me. This is just old wiring trying to protect me. That voice wants to keep you safe. But you weren't built to stay safe. You were built to grow. Talk back with truth. When your mind says, you can't do this, you say, I've done hard things before. When it says, you're going to fail, you say, failure is a part of the path, not the end of it. Speak truth to the lie. Because if you don't, that lie becomes your reality. Don't fight thoughts, replace them. You don't stop thinking negative thoughts by wrestling with them. You stop by replacing them with purposeful thoughts. Here's a practice that works. Catch the thought, question it. replace it with truth. Example, I always mess things up. I've made mistakes, but I've also grown. I learn, I adapt, and I'm still here. Do this daily, hourly if you must. It's mental fitness, the gym for your brain. Protect your mental diet. You know how they say you are what you eat? Well, you also are what you consume mentally. If all you feed your mind is toxic news, endless scrolling, highlight reels of people who seem better than you, then don't be surprised if your self-belief starts to rot. So be intentional. Unfollow what makes you feel small. Turn off the noise that drains your energy. Follow accounts, read books, and watch content that makes you believe again. Because you can't grow a strong mind in a weak environment. Get quiet to get clear. Some of your best answers will only show up in silence. Not in a rush, not in the noise, but in stillness. Sit with yourself, reflect, journal, breathe. Go for walks without your phone. Clarity isn't a lightning bolt, it's a whisper. You just have to slow down long enough to hear it. Guard the gateway. Here's one of the most powerful shifts you'll ever make. You are not your thoughts. You are the gatekeeper of them. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every fear deserves your reaction. Not every doubt deserves a seat at your table. You get to choose what stays and what goes. You are not weak for struggling. You are human. But you are powerful for choosing not to stay in that struggle. Your mind is a tool. Use it. Don't let it use you. Your mind is brilliant. It solves problems. It creates dreams. It imagines futures. But if you don't take control, it will also trap you. It'll replay your worst memories. It'll project your worst fears. It'll invent problems that don't exist yet. So take your mind off autopilot. Train it like a muscle. Direct it like a compass. You're not here to survive your thoughts. You're here to master them. Bridge to final section. Your future self isn't just counting on your actions. They're counting on your mental strength. Because the storms will come, the setbacks will hit, and if your mind isn't anchored, you'll drift. But if you can learn to quiet the noise, you'll hear something else. Your own voice. Your real voice. The one that says, I've got this. I was made for more. This is who I am. In the final part of this video, we're going to bring it all together. We'll talk about how to build your future with intentionality, strategy, and strength, not just in theory, but in daily action. Your future self is getting closer. Let's make sure you meet them with no regrets. Let's finish strong. Build a life that makes your future proud. You've come this far. You've looked within. You've faced the noise, the fear, the hesitation. Now it's time to build. Because no matter how much you visualize, dream, or manifest, nothing changes until you do. Let's talk about what it takes to build a life that your future self will look back on and say, yes, that's the moment I turned it all around. Brick by brick, the power of small daily action. Your future self isn't built in a day. They're built in the tiny, often invisible moments that most people overlook. Waking up 15 minutes earlier to focus. Saying no to distractions so you can say yes to growth. Choosing courage over comfort, again and again. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start laying bricks. One brick of discipline. One brick of honesty. One brick of showing up when it's hard. Because those bricks, they become walls. They become rooms. They become a fortress of identity. Who are you becoming? Every decision you make is a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. You skip the workout, you're casting a vote for the version of you who gives up. You push through even when you don't feel like it, you're casting a vote for the version of you who wins. So don't just ask, what do I want to do today? Ask, who do I want to become? What does that person do when life gets hard? How would they handle this moment right now? You already have the blueprint. You just have to follow it. The power of the unseen days. The days when nothing exciting happens, the days when no one is watching and no rewards are coming, those are the most important days. Because that's where identity is shaped. That's where character is tested. That's where your future self is quietly, invisibly being forged. Every moment you stay committed, even when it's boring, messy, or hard, you are writing your legacy. Reset as often as you need. You will fall off track. You will mess up. You will feel lost sometimes. But hear this, you can always begin again. Your power doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from your willingness to reset without shame. Start again, today, this moment. You don't need permission. You just need to remember who you're becoming. The legacy mindset. One day, maybe years from now, you'll be sitting somewhere, maybe with family, maybe alone, and you'll think about this version of you, the one who chose to try, the one who didn't give up when it was hard, the one who fought invisible battles and kept showing up anyway. And you'll feel proud because you'll know you didn't take the easy path. You took the path that shaped you, the path that called you to grow. And your future self, they'll say thank you. Thank you for making the hard decisions. Thank you for pushing through the pain. Thank you for not giving up on us. That's legacy. That's real wealth. That's what you're building. Make this personal. This isn't about comparing yourself to others. This is about becoming someone you respect, you admire, you are proud of. You don't have to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. You just have to be the most consistent version of you. You just have to be honest enough to say, I want more, and I'm willing to build it. I may be afraid, but I'm not going to let fear lead. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep moving. You've got this. Keep building. You're not here by accident. This message found you for a reason, because deep down, there's a part of you that knows you are meant for more. More clarity, more strength, more peace, more fulfillment. So keep going. Build the habits, stack the wins, protect your mind, show up even when it's hard, reset when you fall. Your future self isn't just counting on the big moves. They're counting on your daily faithfulness. Keep becoming. Keep believing. Final note to your future self. Say it with me. I may not be there yet, but I'm on the path. I don't need to have all the answers. I just need to take the next step. I trust the process. I trust myself. And I'm becoming someone my future will thank. Let this be your turning point. Not because everything changes today, but because you changed today. Let your future self look back and whisper one powerful word. Finally. If this video resonated with you, take a moment. Sit in the silence, let it sink in, and when you're ready, take the next step. Subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment, talk to your future self. Share this with someone who is ready to rise. This is your time, your journey, your life. Your future self is counting on you. And you're showing up. Let's go.